Hello, hello, welcome to the stream. It's me, Wordy Girl. I'm here, and ads are about to start in about 15 seconds, so I will let you know, yes, I am late, but we're going to do some writing sprints. We might read, we might do something, I don't know, we'll see. I have my noodles here, and I'm going to just get started and turn on the clicky keyboard. I'm also going to mute my microphone so I can eat a little bit while sprinting. If you would like to join us in the Discord server, feel free to click the link that Handsome Goes just put in the chat. Otherwise, you can just sit right there in the relaxation of the Twitch chat, as we will have a clock right up here on the screen. Let's do 15-5 as usual. 15-minute sprints, 5-minute breaks between. Oh, this cord here. Okay, now let's also get started with music. Alright, I want to make sure that the music is not too loud. It's about to be way too loud. There we go. Not too loud. Alrighty. If you would like to join us in the Discord server, we are going to be in the bot quarters, sprinting in the Fender track. I am gonna need to take that other camera back and get a new camera because, yes, as you can see, I have my clicky keyboard today, but the thing is, I'm using my guest camera to show the keyboard. So we can't show guests and keyboard at the same time, which is very annoying. I need to order a new camera, okay? When will I be able to do that? I don't know. Alright, sprinting now. 15 minutes on the clock for all you sprinters out there. And now I'm going to mute my microphone and get sprinting. But feel free to chat in the chat if you would like to say anything, and I will come off mute and say that. Wild Zoo Guy. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. Says retro outfit. Yes. I guess so. Itanshi is here. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. How are you? 13 minutes and 42 seconds on the clock for all you sprinters out there. Okay, that is an interesting question. Do I have 30 chapters if my 20th chapter is named 30? That's hilarious. That is hilarious. I can see where it can be a little bit confusing to readers, but if your 20th chapter is named 30, but it's actually the 20th chapter, then no, you do not have 30 chapters. That's intriguing though. 20th chapter being named 30. I mean, I could see a good reason for it to be named 30, but it can also be funny. Are all the chapters named numbers? If so, that's funny and strange. it will start to remind me of like who's on first if they're all named mixed up things. But yeah, if it has a legitimate reason for being named 30, I think it's perfectly fine. But no, it does not mean you have 30 chapters. But I am very interested to see what this means now. I cannot click the unmute button. Okay. Tanchi says, ever have a day you wish you lived among scholars in the year 1111 just to see what they called it? Yes, that's funny. As I was reading it, I went in my head, even before finishing the sentence, I was debating to myself whether I should call it 1111 or 1111, and I just ended up calling it 1111 before seeing that the sentence actually literally was asking what they would call it. That is funny. That is so funny. Now I'm going to make a poll. How do you pronounce this? 1111? 1111? 1111? That's hilarious. I mean, knowing from modern times, people calling years like that 2020, they call them 1919, 1818. I feel like they would call it 1111, but I don't know. They might not. I don't even know how they used to pronounce years. Oh my goodness, you have a good question now. I am thinking very, very, yeah, that was very thought-provoking. Colonel, by the way, is here. Hello, wordy girl, in chat, looking very smart today. I don't know. I don't know if I'm smart today. I don't even know how to pronounce the year 1111. I mean, I would say 1111 probably. Saying 1111 is just chaotic. Yeah. So yeah, I feel like it would either be 1111 or 1111 is too much. Oh my goodness. Making me think. Onesimus Prime is here. Hello, hello. Is there any value in searching your own biblical rabbit holes if your pastor doesn't touch on them? Of course. Honestly, I am a huge proponent of doing your own research. Just no matter what it is. With the Bible as well, I do a lot of research. I don't necessarily only depend. In fact, I don't at all only depend on what other people tell me about any subject. Like usually, especially if I'm feeling like, is that true? The first thing I do is go research it myself. Not to say that I don't trust anybody, but it's good to know your own. It's good to know for yourself, and it's good for it not to become a game of telephone. Like if somebody said, hey, did you know that bumblebees are actually pink and purple striped? And then I just say, oh, they are? Okay. And I decide to start telling other people that? That is not good. I at least should go do my own research first and see if it's true before helping to share that information to other people. Same with biblical research. I honestly think that a lot of times, sadly, many churches are passing down information from generation to generation, and nobody's actually reading the Bible for themselves to see what it actually says. And I personally think that that's a little bit not good. I personally like to read the Bible for myself because, for one, it is also a message from God to us. So when we are reading it ourselves, we can get our own interpretation from it as well. It's not to say it's not good to also seek guidance from other people, especially if you're confused on something. But I feel that you should not be discouraged just because somebody else is not doing something to not do it either. I feel like that's the wrong reason to not do it, honestly. Like if you're like, oh, the pastor never talks about this, it's not important. Like if that's what your reasoning behind it is, no, I don't think that's a good mindset to have. I'm not necessarily asking if you should blindly trust your pastor more if my pastor doesn't ever touch the subject, but I want to delve in. I mean, that's what I mean. If your pastor never touches the subject, it's not like you should say, oh, I should never care about this or worry about it, or even if I'm curious about it, not look into it due to my pastor not looking into it. Depending on how big your church is as well, if your church is relatively small and you're able to like talk to your pastor, you can go up to him and ask, are you like, is it possible for you to help me go through this book? Or like, is there a reason why you don't touch on this subject? Like, and if you don't feel comfortable doing that, you can always just read it yourself, and you can look for other people who are also interested in reading it. And in this day and age of internet, there's so many online groups and Bible studies that you can participate in as well, even if your personal church is not covering something. But it is good to ask the pastor why they are not covering it if you feel like it's an important thing for them to cover. If it's a small enough church for you to speak directly to them. If it's a mega church or something, I don't know if they will be as accessible. But Adanshi says, I like how the Bible is in a quantum state. It's literal until you read it. Not necessarily. Everybody has their own interpretation on the Bible. I know a lot of people say, oh, the Bible's not actually literal. And a lot of people say, oh, the Bible is actually all completely literal. I don't think that it is. I personally would not objectively say that every single thing in the Bible should be quote-unquote taken literally, but not everything in the Bible should be considered not literal either. I think it depends on what book you're reading, what scripture in particular you're reading, and what context of that. Because there are some things that are literal, and there are some things that are in the Bible said to be parables and said to be not literal. Adanji says, if it was literal, my Bible has a bookmark with a line that says not to take it literal. Well, like I said, different parts of the Bible are literal and different parts are not. At least that's what I believe. Scary communities with agendas, buyer beware. Well, sadly, some people do look at the church as a scary community. Sadly. What I will say is not every church is the same. Which is another sad thing, because a lot of people group all Christians in a certain bubble that they're not necessarily in. And it is sad when churches and Christians perpetuate that by not actually doing what I think the Bible says to do. Anisma says, I've asked three streamers so far today, and you have the best answer so far. I've gotten appeal authority, one to read it out and just kind of shrugged it off. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm not trying to be like a Bible scholar or something. I'm just telling my personal opinion. My personal opinion is not necessarily the best opinion. That is just my opinion. I feel like personally, everybody, I tell this, before just blindly taking my advice, I would suggest you pray about it yourself as well, what you should do concerning the situation. I fear online communities more, says Adanji. Oh my goodness. That's another thing. Yeah, megachurches have their own scary. God loves the yachts. Yeah, sadly, some megachurches are a little weird. But online communities as well. It is sad that there are so many online communities that, like I was saying, even with the churches, but even with online, a lot of people think all of online is bad just because there are some pockets of bad online. But I'm telling you, there are a lot of pockets of good people online, but you still do have to be careful when interacting online. But yeah, the whole online is kind of scary, but I would suggest you don't, completely bat it off with a stick. There are some great places to find some cool people who you can relate to and interact with, especially even on Twitch, when you find streamers who the streamer and the chat is usually depending on which streamer you go to, can be relatable and nice. And even I have a Discord server, which I think you're a part of, and you're a part of some other Discord servers, so some can be nice, but yes, online community can be very scary as well. So do stay careful online. Do not share all your personal information and all that. Colonel says megachurches, multi-million-dollar industries can't take it with them. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. So yeah, some people, priorities, I don't know. Anise Smith says, appreciate it. Well, thank you for your questions as well. Feel free to ask questions anytime. Colonel says, yes, be careful online. You may bump into me. Just ask where to. Yeah. Yes, that's true. Colonel is in a lot of communities online as well. I wouldn't say he's the worst person to bump into online. Honestly. There are much scarier people online, sadly. But yes, time is up, by the way, for everyone who was sprinting. How did you guys do? I kind of did a little bit, but not really, because I got distracted by chat, but chat is good. I like these. These are some good questions you guys are having today. Some nice chatting and conversation here, talking about the year and numbers. I'm curious, Atanji, how would you pronounce that year? 1111. I wonder how you would pronounce it. So yeah. Interesting chat today. This is the waiting clock, so we are going to be taking a break for 5 minutes. I don't really have anything that I can account for the words that I type because I kind of didn't type in the document I was trying to do, so it's fine. Alright, so 3:40 on the clock for the resting time, and I usually try to actually rest during the time, and I'm like, oh man, I want to type, but no, I'm not gonna type, I'm gonna rest. In fact, oops, I'm gonna rest and I'm gonna mute so I can eat some noodles while we're resting. But feel free to chat in the chat, and I will come off mute like I did just now and talk to you guys. Alrighty. The timer is almost up. 3 and 2 and 1. Resting is done. And now it's time for another sprint. If you guys would like to join us, feel free to click the link that handsome co-host has put into the chat. We're gonna sprint again for 15 minutes starting now. Now, what I'm really curious about is how they would pronounce the year 1, 2, 3, 4. Like, I would say 1, 2, 3, 4. But I'm sure it will be 1234. And that's kind of boring. But yeah, here we go. I'm gonna, mute again. but Kofi Streambot is in the chat. He'll let you know that if you do donate, Lyle, I'm live, fun things gonna happen, and there are also some cool Valentine stuff that you can buy. I need to take a picture of something, but we'll see. Young Blake! Hey!
Obligatory associate!
Welcome to the stream. Uh-oh. The thing is covered up. I am going to move that. And it's welcome to the stream, young Blake, and thank you for joining. Also, an ad's about to start in 15 minutes. Atanchi says, torn. So my MC rightfully fears her child being taken from her since she's not officially her mother yet. Is this a MacGuffin? So I need to take the child in some scene? I'm not even sure how to do it. Okay, time's up. I think some of you guys are about to be in an ad, so I'm not going to answer the question until you guys are back. Exclamation point ads to let me know. Exclamation point back to let me know that you are back if you are in an ad. I will answer after the ads are over to make sure that Atanchi does hear my answer. Young Blake as well. Welcome to the stream. Do I do sprints? Yes, I do writing sprints. Do you? You're not in an ad, Atanchi? I don't think you are. Young Blake, are you in an ad? I don't want to talk to you guys if you guys are in an ad. It just told me that it's about to play an ad. Not an ad yet. Okay. Welcome, young Blake. How are you? Alright, so, yes, I do writing sprints here. Might be delayed, says Atanchi. Yes, sometimes it is delayed. So, just make sure you exclamation point ads if an ad appears while I'm talking to you. Okay. Atanchi. Drat. There it goes. Knew it. Thanks, Bezos. Oh my goodness. All right, $7. I mean, $7? 7 minutes and 55 seconds on the clock for all these renders out there. All right, the ad should be over very soon. 6 minutes and 40 seconds on the clock for all you sprinters out there who are still sprinting. Back, says young Blake. Ready. Welcome back. Atanji says, thanks, Bezos. Yes, ads. But thank you guys for enduring the ads, because though it just gives me a couple of pennies, it does help with engagement on Twitch, and it also helps me get a little bit, and, you know, helps Twitch to remain a great platform for lots of streamers to continue streaming. By the way, young Blake says, you are now the second streamer I know that does writing sprints. Yes, there is a whole community. I wonder if the other person is somebody that I know, or if it's somebody else. Who is that person who does writing sprints? Is it you? I know you do some sprints around the track in a car, if you know what I mean, but not really writing sprints. Brenna something. Okay, no, I'm sorry, that's not one I've heard of. But yes, there's actually a bigger community of writers on Twitch than you think. A lot of people think that it's just a couple. Bryn nailed it. Ah, that's a clever name. But yeah, I was like, what? Brenna Ildid? I didn't know if it was like a foreign language or something. Like, sorry, I'm horrible at pronouncing stuff. But I do appreciate pronunciation keys. Hopefully Atanchi is back from the ads. Atanchi did not say back, though young Blake did say back. Atanchi, let me know if you are back so that I can address your MacGuffin situation. But yes, how are you, young Blake? Thank you for following the channel, and nice to see you here. Do you do any writing of your own? Because I know you do some other stuff. I was familiar with you from the racing, not from riding. She is pretty chill. She is Catholic. She was the first I knew who does sprint. She likes to watch her races here and there. Ah, interesting. Yeah. So yeah, there's actually a lot of people think that there aren't very many. Like, when you first get started on Twitch, no matter what you're doing, if it's not a video game, a lot of people think there's not a big community of said thing on Twitch, but there are. Like art. Yes. Do you know that there's a lot of Twitch artists who do art, either digitally or physical art, and they show themselves while they're drawing? Yes. I would be very interested to see your manga. You do draw? That's nice. I would love to see some images of your manga that you're working on. Yeah, you follow a few. Yeah, exactly. But like, there are a lot of like Christian streamers who are like, oh, there's no Christian streamers on here. And it's like, there actually are a lot of them. It's just that you need to find your people. Same with writers. A lot of people are like, ugh, nobody's writing on Twitch. Or a lot of people think writing on Twitch is a thing. Like, writing sprints, like just like putting a clock on the screen and typing, like that's a thing. Yes, that is. And even like, not just writers, there's a lot of co-workers, and that sounds weird, right? But co-working streams is basically, you don't have to necessarily be writing like a novel or something, but they have just like a thing where you can log what tasks you're doing, and then, you know, just chill out in a stream. Productivity. it's very interesting. But you will find that there are a lot of people, and like almost anything you can name on Twitch, and you think, huh, there's nobody doing this. I bet there's more people doing it than you think. There is a huge community of Christian streamers. Yes, a lot of people think there isn't, especially if they're just first starting off. Because, and just anything, honestly, that's not video gaming, because Twitch is most famous for video games. And if you're not, like, if you don't know about Twitch, the main person you know is just like Ninja or something. The big streamers that just play games, and then you're like, that's all Twitch is. But that's not all Twitch is. So, yes, once you find your people, you will be very surprised. Not Nick Cage is here. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. How are you? We are actually at a minute and 45 seconds left in the sprint that we were doing, which isn't very sprinty, but it's fine. All right, there we go. Janchi says, oops, I stepped away. I'll check bot. No, you don't have to. Because I actually, honestly, when Young Blake said back, back, oh, no VOD? No, yeah, you can, I do have bots, but I'm saying I didn't even answer your question yet. Because when Young Blake said back from ads, I said, Atanchi, are you back from ads? Because if you're not, then I'm not gonna answer your question because I don't want you to miss it. So since you didn't say anything, then I didn't even go into it. I said, let me know if you're back so I can talk about the MacGuffin. Yeah. All right. Yes. Great. We can talk about it now. Hopefully it hasn't been enough time for another ad to pass. I doubt. But here, we have 5 minutes left on the waiting clock, and I think I can talk about this during the waiting break. So, to refresh everyone's memories, let's go back to what Atanchi said earlier. So, I am torn. My MC rightfully fears her child being taken from her since she's not officially her mother yet. Okay, so what is this? This is an adoption? Is this an adoption process? I'm gonna try to pin this message on the screen and see if it works. It did not work. I don't see the message pinned anywhere. Oh, there it is. Okay. I'm pinning that up there so you guys can see it on the screen. All right, it is an adoption situation. Okay. And so I can get back to it. YS Books is here. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. It says, isn't this the MacGuffin? Well, if that's the main part of the story, the main plot of the story is that there's a person who has a child, not biologically, who wants to adopt the child and is afraid the child will get taken. Now, I need to, it's a little bit much to unpack because how does she already have the child if it's not hers yet? I'm sure there's way more, and I know you're probably trying to be very succinct in your summary, but I would have to know a little bit more information before I can tell you if this is considered a MacGuffin or not. By the way, I did say hello to YS Books. How are you? Wild Zoo Guy says randomness. Okay, so randomness. What randomness do I have? I got a lot of, here we go. Randomness. Alright, thank you so much to Wild Zoo Guy for the randomness. We have 2 minutes and 42 seconds left on the waiting clock. Alright, Atanchi has more information. Basically, she wanted her own child without another family being involved. So she got talked into classifying it as a surrogacy. Oh no. Okay, I get it now. Surrogacy, so she can be paid to raise the child, but there's no desire to interfere with her eventual adoption. The date is set for the child's 5th birthday, which is about a year after main story start. So she was the surrogate. So she's one of these surrogates who are really getting attached to the child and don't want to give it up. Wait. Disguising it as a surrogacy. How? What book is this, says Wild Zoo Guy. It is Atanchi's own book. It sounds like a very interesting plot. I'm trying to figure out, nothing yet, says Atanchi, yes. I mean, I wouldn't say it's nothing. It's a concept, I guess. What I'm trying to say is, okay, so she's classifying it as a surrogacy, but the real family doesn't actually want it? Is this just like an, is it like an in vitro thing that she just didn't want it to be like her own? So, I'm just confused. Why would she do it like this? Is there a reason? Plutarch! Hello. Welcome to the stream, Plutarch. How are you? It's a bit funky. There's shenanigans happening, but it's not against her. Yeah, I'm kind of confused at why she would even go that route. If it's, I'm doing good. Happy to be here. Happy to have you here. Much love to you. Still, she doesn't know all the parts of play, and she has her fears. I am just a little bit confused about how Because if it was an in vitro situation, it would just be her child, period. Since she has to classify it as a surrogacy, then who is she supposed to give it up to after, if it's not a real surrogacy? I'm just a little bit confused by the plot. I don't know if it's just that I'm not realizing what's happening, but yeah, I can't move forward in the rest of what I would suggest because I kind of can't grasp what this plot is right now. Because I understand. So you have fixed problems with problems. Yeah. It's okay. So, okay, let's step back then. What do you want to happen? Sometimes that's what it is. Like in a story, you're like, okay, I want there to be a mom who's scared her child will get taken away. But why would it get taken away if it's just her own child? Let's make it where she has to adopt the child before the 5th birthday. Why would she have to adopt the child before the 5th birthday? Because, like, yeah, it can get messy. But yes, sometimes it's good to step back and just figure out what you want to happen in the plot first, and then figure out a good way for that to happen. I wanted her to be jealous of her hired caretaker, whom is secretly the blood mother. Wait, what? The prompt is legal secret love child between two women. Okay. So she hired her own caretaker to take care of her child, but started getting jealous of the caretaker who she hired to take care of the child. Because what this is reminding me of, kind of, is I've seen these stories before where there is a surrogate mom who doesn't want to give up the baby to the family after the surrogacy because she got so attached to it. There are also stories where the paid caretaker, as you're saying, gets so attached to the child that they are being paid to take care of that they want to kidnap that child. But you're doing it in a little opposite way where the real mother is somehow scared to have the child taken away. So that's why I'm getting confused. Because it makes sense for a surrogate to be scared that it's going to get taken away. And it makes sense for a paid caretaker to be scared that it's going to get taken away. So I'm just wondering, how is the real mother ever going to have the child taken away unless it's something like Child Protective Services or some other thing that's going on. They are related. So, did she on purpose hire the mom of the... She on purpose hired the supplier of the eggs to be the caretaker? I was asking that question. I don't know how to work the MacGuffin. Yeah, I am confused as well. So what I'm thinking of is this like a Moses situation? Where, if you're familiar with the story of Moses, the Israelite babies, of course, there was a decree that there should not be any more. So to hide her baby, Moses' mother put Moses in a basket and put him in the water, and the princess found Moses. And then Moses' sister said, "Oh, I know a person who can help nurse the baby." And then the mom was kind of Gilgamesh. Is that the same thing? I am not sure. So, yeah. At this point, the empress, or the princess, was the adoptive mom of Moses, but Moses' real biological mom was his caretaker. In this case, it sounds like a similar thing, but only instead of finding the baby or just adopting the baby, the person who has the baby actually gave birth to the baby, but it was with the egg of the person who's taking care of the baby. So what I'm trying to ask is, did she know that that was the real mother when she hired her? I think that will help a little bit. Like, is she on purpose doing this? Or did she somehow coincidentally have no idea that this mom was actually the biological mother of the child that she was hiring to take care of? Okay, she sure gets legally her child with an aim to keep her. The lawyer representing that contract is not contesting the adoption, but in the face of finding the blood mother, she is jealous and insecure. She did not do it on purpose. Okay. I'm so sorry. I will have more questions. My question is, why would the blood mother even be available to hire? Did the blood mother on purpose go putting herself on babysitting listings, on nanny websites? I don't know what year this is set in. Is this, like, did she intentionally go apply to some agency to be a caretaker? She wanted cash for college. Okay, because I'm like, okay. They are former So the main character, who was the surrogate, was a former classmate with the mother. Okay, this is weird, but okay. Does she know that she used to be a classmate with her? Or does she not recognize her? Does she know her and therefore, like, said, hey, want to make some money? Or the other one said, hey, do you have any way I can make money? Because if they know each other, does she know? I'm just trying to figure out how they can know each other and be okay with this, but then how does she not know that she's the birth mother, and when does she find out she's the birth mother, therefore beginning to start being jealous? Because if she knows her, I'm trying to figure out, you said she does not know that she's the birth mother when she first hires her, but somehow she finds out, and therefore she gets jealous. So I'm trying to figure out, how does she find out? Birth blood. What do you mean? Getting mixed up. So, did she... What? Okay. Did she, like, get a test on the baby? I mean, I don't understand why that would come up at all. How did they figure out birth blood? I'm sorry. It's very complicated in my head. I don't know if it's just me. I am not able to understand what this plot is. Because it seems like there's a lot of moving parts here. And it's probably very difficult to explain in text as well. It would probably be, like, better to, like, talk it out, probably. But yeah, you have to hand wave some of this. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just a little bit... The plot itself seems like a bit much for the reader to digest what's going on. At least me, right now. There's no blood test, but honestly, it would crack if MC did a minimum amount of research. Exactly, so that's why I'm just saying, it's a little weird. I kind of want to know what you want to happen. Like, it's a good... I feel like you have this concept that you feel like is good, but there's way too many plot holes that you're just like, okay, how do I do it? Yeah, I honestly don't see how to help with this particular situation and going in this direction. So when you say MacGuffin, you're trying to say the catalyst in the story that, like, the goal, the aim that the main character is trying to accomplish. Now, a lot of people use the word MacGuffin to just mean something that is not necessarily important, but it's kind of just useless, and that's just like the meaning of the whole thing, but actually kind of doesn't do anything. So that's why personally I don't like to use the word MacGuffin, but a lot of people do use it. I just want to make sure that I am correct in assuming what you mean by the word MacGuffin to mean that it is the motivation, basically. You're trying to get the motivation for the main character, the driving force behind the story, because without this, the story is nothing. She's afraid of something so often that fear occurs. It's the thing that empowers her fear and anxiety. Yes. So I know it's probably going to be considered spoilers, but I just wonder, what do you want to happen at the end of the book? Like, how do you want, you don't have to tell the whole thing, but like, how are you seeing it being resolved? Or is it just not going to be resolved? Is this whole, oh, they have a laugh about it? How does that happen? I don't know how it would go from her being super jealous to having a laugh about it. If she has a laugh about it, does that mean that the real mother is like, oh, I don't want her back? And then she's like, oh, okay. And then it just goes off. Like, I don't understand what would happen to make it where they have a laugh about it. But if that's what you want to happen, I'm sure there's a way to get there. I guess my brain is getting hung up on a lot of the details that are confusing me. But yes, it is a very interesting concept that you have. It is. And you said it's a prompt. So, like, are you entering this into a contest? Are you just doing this as a fun short story? Like, what is the... It's just your current product. Okay. So you're planning a whole novel of this? Or is it like a short story? Or what is this planning to be? Because with a novel, you would have to really drag things out. 60k words. Oh my goodness. It's a bit over a nano. So what I'm trying to say is, if you're saying that a lot of it can just be solved if research is done, then I'm wondering how you don't know how to drag it. Like, I feel like if you feel like it needs to be dragged and you don't know how to, I don't know if it will make an intriguing story. Like, for the reader to be held for 50,000 words, 60,000 words of this. I mean, that's not to say don't do it. I'm just giving you my opinion. People will honestly probably soon become, bored, which is understandable, especially if the author themselves doesn't understand what's happening and doesn't know how to expand stuff. And there's only certain amount of chapters you can have. Like, what do you imagine happening in the chapters? What do you imagine happening? Like, she just constantly has a fear. Is anything actually happening? Or is it like just zooming into her mind and showing she's having anxiety, and then, like, that's it? Atanchi says upping the stakes is one method. Yes. Whether her fear and anxiety or the romance. Yeah, so are you saying the romance will be between them? Because if so, then how can that start until the end when they have a laugh? Because I am confused at how the book can be filled with something that can't happen until the end of the book. Unless the romance is with a different person. If the romance is with a different person, then that could be filling the book. But then it'll just seem like, what is the plot of this? Like, is it just that she's hanging out with this person, and then suddenly every 5 seconds she has anxiety, and then she just hangs out with the person, and then at the end she says, ha 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 ha, and goes off. Like, that's a little weird. I don't know. But it looks like you guys are about to be in an ad. If you are in an ad, exclamation point ads to let me know. Exclamation point back to let me know you're back. It's a bit out of order. Lots of tension before the end where they resolve it. Yeah, I'm sorry. I think you've stumped me here. I honestly, without further information, don't really have clear-cut advice or any kind of thing that I can tell you to help with this. But yes, it is an interesting concept indeed. I think it probably needs to be a little bit more workshopped a little bit. And I think the important questions to ask yourself is, what do you want to do with this? And should it be a novel? Because not everything has to be a novel. It could literally be a short story. It doesn't have to be a novel. What you can try to do is just write an outline first. And if the outline is not a novel, ads. Alrighty. While they're in the ads, I'm going to get the other sprint started. 15 minutes on the clock for all these sprinters out there. We are sprinting in the bot quarters in the Discord server. All right. All right. Are you guys back? If you're back for the ads, let me know. It doesn't look like it. It looks like there are 10 seconds left in the ad still. Alright, are you back? And Hanshi says, collecting Kardashian ads. Come on, Twitch. Okay. You said, yes, it could work as a webcomic. Yeah, that could probably work as like a webcomic, a short story, a little mini serial maybe. Tanchi says, a T-ball set is an amusing ad. What? I don't even know what that is. Oh, T-ball. Okay. Something else. Yeah, T-ball is something else. Like, I was like, wait, what? I never heard of that. But yeah, I get it. T-ball. Alright, well, I'll keep poking at it. Currently, it's just straight character tension. Yeah. I don't see how it can be stretched out anymore. That will still be interesting for the reader to be held for 50,000 words. Like, personally, from my experience, I just don't understand. I mean, I can't even imagine what the pages will have on them if I was trying to read it. But who knows? You might figure something out. So much success with whatever you do. But yeah, that's quite a bit. Quite a project. Indeed. So, 12:10 on the clock for all you sprinters out there. T-ball sounds like a cocktail, says Colonel. Yeah, I could imagine something like that. $5:20 on the clock for all these printers out there. I'm just gonna put some of these little hearts down. I need to take picture or something. Okay. Is there another? Oh, I see. Alright, now I can use this to just take a quick picture, which is very strange, right? I know it is. But just for things. Colonel says Wordy Girl could have a cocktail named after her. I have no idea what it would be called. If it's called Wordy Girl, just Wordy Girl by itself, I have no idea what that would be. If it has any other things in the name, then I don't know. Okay. Oh, I see what happens. Let's move this back a little bit. Because now, let's put this like this. Okay, that's better, I think. Alrighty. So for those of you who have no idea what I'm doing, it's okay. Feel free to ask in the chat if you want, or not. Sometimes I just need to take random pictures of stuff. There we go. What I need to do is go through my Ko-fi shop and change a lot of the things. Time's up for that sprint. How did you guys do? I obviously did a little bit, but obviously, like I said, we couldn't really know what I did because I did pictures, so I couldn't even count words. That's what I'm trying to say. There we go. All right, it's done. Let's see. Okay. We are still in the waiting. 1 minute and 53 seconds left on the waiting clock. Alright, time's up. How did you guys do in the resting? Did you take a good break? Alright. Time for another sprint for 15 minutes. 15 minutes on the clock for all you sprinters out there. If you would like to join us in the Discord, feel free to click the link that Handsome Coast is put into the chat so that you can sprint with us. If not, no worries. The clock is on the screen. Sorry for the Windows noise. Sorry. Okay. Coffee stream butters in the chat to let you know that if you do donate while I'm live, fun things can happen. Looks like you guys are about to be in an ad. If you are in an ad, exclamation point ads to let me know, exclamation point back to let me know that you are back. right, I actually did some stuff. Alrighty. Time is up for that sprint. How do you guys do? I ended up getting 151. No. 22 words. I was like, I did not get that many. That was how many characters it was. I had it on character count for a different reason. Alright. We're gonna do a 5-minute break. I'm gonna mute this time to finish up these noodles, and then we will get back into a sprint. I don't know how long. I think this might be the last sprint. I don't know. And we'll see what happens. Let's go. Resting time. All right. The waiting time is almost up, and I am done with my noodles. So we're probably going to do one more sprint, and then we might raid out, and then we'll see what happens. I do plan on going live again tomorrow. I'm going to figure out what time it is supposed to actually be tomorrow, because sometimes I say the wrong thing. And yesterday I didn't know. I had said 11 or 12, I don't know, and it ended up being 12 because I was late. Hopefully I'm not late tomorrow, but let's see when it's supposed to be. It is actually supposed to be 12 tomorrow. So, hopefully it is actually going to be 12 and not 1 or later. But here's the sprint clock, guys. 15 minutes on the clock. If you would like to join us, feel free to click the link that handsome co-host has put into the chat. Dream! Hello, welcome to the stream. Dream, how are you? Drama Llama typing got me almost to... What? Oh, 2 hours late. Yeah, it's okay. In fact, I'm probably about to leave after this sprint, unfortunately. But I do have to do some stuff before I have a meeting and all this stuff. I also have to catch up on things, especially things dealing with you and other supporters. So, yeah. Also, there is supposed to be something happening later today. Hopefully it works. I just don't want to say it and it doesn't happen. So, we'll see. Alright, here we go. Alright. 12 minutes and 10 seconds on the clock for all these sprinters out there. Time for me to start typing, actually. Clicky clicky. Rose bowl didn't work? Hold on. That's not supposed to happen. Because it worked. It worked when I tested it. Here we go. There it is. Thank you to Dream Cartographer for the rose fall. So sorry that it did not work when you did it. That's weird. I don't know why I did that. Kiss, kiss, fall in love. I knew it. Alright, time's up for that sprint. How did you guys do? Did I even join this sprint? Nope, I did not. Alright, how many words did I do? 401. Okay. Alrighty. And there is supposedly an upcoming ad break. If you are in an ad, exclamation point ads to let me know, exclamation point back to let me know that you're back. But I'm gonna actually go and try to find somebody that we can raid so that I can go. So feel free to hang out until we raid. I don't want to raid in the middle of an ad, so we're gonna wait until the ads are done before raiding. Alright, so let's see who is streaming. Alright. So I see. I don't think that we've raided this person before. So I think we're gonna raid. We'll see after the ads. But while you guys are in ad, tomorrow I'm supposed to be streaming at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, which is in 22 hours from now. 22 hours from now. So it is supposed to be hopefully some updates, some zine month stuff, some Kickstarter push stuff, a lot of stuff. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. Also, we do have Valentine's stuff. So if you want to get me Valentine's and stuff, there are commands for that. We also have our little pet shop for Valentine's February. And you can get a little pet named after you if you donate to my Ko-fi. I also have this mailbox here, which means that you can put your Valentine's in the mailbox by donating to my Ko-fi. So, all that stuff should be tomorrow. We can do all that stuff. I mean, we could have done it yesterday, but we were doing Roblox and nobody did the stuff. Today, we were just doing sprints. I didn't even tell you about this stuff. But yeah, it is here. It's in the shop. It is in commands. So, yeah. Anyways, thank you guys so much for joining me. I think we're going to raid the Terrible Novelist, who is another writer that we've seen around the community, but I don't think we've actually raided them. So, if you are reading along with us, please do copy the raid command in the chat that I'm supposed to just put. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. God bless, much success, sending prayers, love, and hugs your way always. Thanks so much, as always, and hope to see you soon.